Have you ever wondered why the market always goes against you? Many times after you've bought a share, then share prices started to drop. Is it because that the market doesn't like you? How do we overcome this situation then? M+Wiz, which alerts on potential entry for trending stocks, might do the trick for you. Is that all for the Wiz feature? Not at all. To find out more, please visit us at mplusonline.com/wiz. Have you ever wondered why the market always goes against you? Many times after you've bought a share, then share prices started to drop. Is it because that the market doesn't like you? How do we overcome this situation then? M plus Wiz, which alerts on potential entry for trending stocks, might do the trick for you. Is that all for the Wiz feature? Not at all. To find out more, please visit us at mplusonline.com/wiz. Have you ever wondered why the market always goes against you? Many times after you've bought a share, then share prices started to drop. Is it because that the market doesn't like you? How do we overcome this situation then? M plus Wiz, which alerts on potential entry for trending stocks, might do the trick for you. Is that all for the Wiz feature? Not at all. To find out more, please visit us at mplusonline.com/wiz.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. All right. This Elkie here with you guys today. Good afternoon. All right. Okay. It's another Monday, and this is our it's coming to the mid of March, and again it's our Monday morning Monday briefing, weekly market outlook briefing again. Okay. Thank you for joining us today. All right. Okay. I think today is quite an exciting market after we saw Johor side has already done their state elections. Okay, and market today is actually quite actively trading. Okay, with the healthcare, specifically the glove sector, dominated the markets. Okay, we can see healthcare, specifically the glove. Okay, making a very good progress. Meanwhile, other sectors, most of other counters are more towards on retracement and pullback in their price. Okay, after we saw that the market has making quite a good rally, a rebound for the past few days. So if we look into some of the top gainers today, very obviously you can see like Hatalega, like Top Glove, Avanta, Kosan, K Plus, all these healthcare related counters. They can be found in under top gainers list. Okay. Other than that, we will see that you can see at the bottom right here, we are seeing quite a number of HSI put warrant. Okay, so for those who are unsure why there is a rally in healthcare stuff today, it is likely due to the new COVID wave happening in China. Okay, so that actually dragged the Hang Seng and also the China indexes lower today, and also that sparked a new round of trading interest in the glove counters, especially the glove counters has been on selling mode across a long time, and with this new catalyst, the trading interest has surged significantly. Okay, yeah. All right, so I believe many of you guys will have this question coming into your mind is whether this rally of glove, whether it can sustain or not. All right, so we will be looking into the chart later to see whether how we want to deal with the rebound in the glove counters. Okay, how we can manage it, our position, and also the risk accordingly. Okay. Meanwhile, on the other hand, if we look at what's happening in the market today, we can see plantation had a quite a hit. Plantations, energy, and also technology. Okay, we technology has made a quite a strong rebound on second session of last Friday. Okay, it rebounded and also erasing the earlier losses for the day. Okay, on last Friday. But given that the U.S. Nasdaq continued to under pressure, down more than 2% on last Friday, that also triggered a more profit taking happening in our market today. Okay, but do bear in mind that this week will be the FOMC. Okay, it is expected that the Fed's gonna increase their rates, their interest rates. So the technology sectors has been on selling mood. Okay, has been on selling due to this expectation that the Feds can increase their rates. So the market has been selling ahead of the implementation. Hence, given based on the belief of buy on rumor, sell on fact, okay, there might be a further rebound once the interest rate implemented. Okay, this week. Okay, there might be a further rebound. If we look into the technology index, okay, if you look into the technology index, this is a good sign of rebound that is happening on our technology index. Okay, so as long we are seeing the technology index is forming a lower low and start rebounding higher, okay, this is the second wave of the rebound in technology stocks that we can participate in. Okay, if you miss the first rebound right over here. Okay, but of course, if you are trading on this second wave happening right here, I would say that I would recommend you to focus on some of those stronger fundamental and also earnings technology counters, because those are the counters that can rebound it at the fastest pace, all right, compared to the laggard one and non-performance. Okay, all right. And as for the plantation wise, if you guys follow the movement of the pump price closely, the FCPO, okay, we can see today FCPO had another strong selling, all right, and that actually caused the continuation of profit taking in plantation related counters. Okay, so at this moment of time, plantation is likely to continue to on the selling down, and for those who wish to trade, I believe I would say that can be a little bit be patient, okay, and accumulate it slowly if you want to trade it for the earnings which might come in late May. Okay, there are some gonna release, like Kim Long gonna release end of March this month. Okay, but most of them they're gonna release on end of May because they just released it in February. So maybe end of April, early May, that time we can re-look into the plantation sectors again. Okay, all right. So as for oil and gas wise, okay, energy. As for oil and gas, with the continuation selling in the rush in the oil price, okay, the oil price, the U.S. oil has retraced from the recent high around $130 to right now near to $100. Okay, yeah. So with the selling in the oil price, we can see that our energy sector also has been driving down. Okay, and among all these energy counters, oil and gas related counters, most of them their fundamentals they are not showing a strong footing. Okay, hence if you really want to collect or accumulate some with the belief that you believe the oil price is high, it's gonna help the earnings and then it might rebound. Okay, I would suggest that we want to focus on the upstream like hibiscus. Okay, hibiscus has retraced from 100, 100 one ringgit 35 cents resistance that we mark over here and then retrace to below 100 and 1 ringgit 15 cents support. Okay, so I would say that right now with this retracement, it's pretty much well supported at 1 ringgit 08, and any rebound from here is actually quite a comfortable zone to accumulate some of the share for the potential rebound. Okay, if you are seeing potential rebound in the oil price. Okay, otherwise if you want a little bit more buffer and you want to be a little bit safe, then you might want to look at somewhere around 101 and 102 area. Okay, for the next support for hibiscus. Okay, yeah. Okay, if we look into our local index, okay, I would say that our local index, it doesn't really look that great on the outlook. Okay, remember at this point of time, last 2 weeks when I was sharing with you guys, we were mentioning that this is the tip of point that is very critical, whereby we need to see a very strong surge. Otherwise, it is likely that we will see retracement, and the retracement it indeed happened. Okay, it indeed happened later on last week. Okay, with the sharp selling. Okay, so with this rejection from 1610 areas, it is likely we will see a further selling pressure to 1510 or even 1485. Okay, so for our local blue chips index, the outlook is still looking towards the sell side. Okay, uh, looking at the sell side. Hence, if for those long-term investor, I would advise you that you do not want to rush in to buy the shares, but you can slowly to position in. And for short-term traders, you might even can look into IDSS opportunities. Okay, in to some of the sectors like plantations, all this that has rallied rallied strongly. okay, for a short-term trading opportunities with the continuing pressure in the oil price and also the pump price. Okay, especially if the Russia side and Ukraine side able to achieve a mutual agreement and put a stop to this war, to this warfare. Okay, then we should see the oil price to drop further from there. Okay, yeah, so that would bring the pump price, the vegetable oils to drop further, because that would help. It will convince the market that the sunflower oil that produced exported by Russia sites will able to continue, and that would meet the demand in the vegetable oils. Okay, yeah. So if we look into some of the other sector, okay, like healthcare that we are talking about it. Okay, at this point, if we look into the healthcare trend, it is still showing us that the healthcare is on a downtrending mood. Okay, at this point, we do not see a change in trend until the healthcare index is able to trade above 2100 levels. If we look into some of the market leader like Top Glove, okay, we can see all this while all the rebounds happening right over here. It wasn't able to able to follow through. Okay, in order for Top Glove to turn into a more bullish um, technical outlook, it has to rebound above 2 ringgit. Otherwise, any rebound right over here, I would say it's more towards a short-term technical rebound. Hence, if you are trading on technical side, I would advise that whenever it trades near the 2 ringgit levels for Top Glove, you might want to take some profits, especially if it has rallied for 1, 2, or even 3 days, the third day. Okay, because when it comes to the especially rallying for the third day, it comes to the time whereby some of the short-term traders, they need to take profits for their contra. All right. Okay, if we look into others like another one like Harta Lega, okay, we can see for Harta Lega also we do not see a significant reversal in the trend until the stock price able to trade above 4 ringgit 88 cents to 5 ringgit area. Okay, so for similarly on like Top Glove, it will more points towards downtrending. Okay, but no doubt with the with with the selling pressures happening since 2020. Okay, we can see the selling started from 2020, and then eventually recently the selling pressure actually has slowed down. Okay, there could be some bargain hunting coming in, especially with the China side is having a new wave of COVID, and that could trigger um, the slower supply from the Chinese glove manufacturers. Okay, that could give some space for the share price in our local side to rebound higher. Okay, but it is likely that the physical demand it wouldn't spike on this case, and the ASP should remain soft and stable. Okay, given that I believe most of the medical side they already have stocked up their glove, and we shouldn't see a very strong surge in the demand of the glove in near term. All right, unless the situation worsening or we see something, some unexpected event happens. All right. Okay. So besides the glove, okay, we would still see that the consumer product side would be a little bit more interesting to look at. Okay, yeah. So for example, we actually have for our daily pick, we actually we are looking at Cocoland, which is on the consumer side. Okay, this morning it rallied to 1 ringgit 35 cents and then hold on there and had the selling down with in accordance with the market sentiment. Okay, the profit taking came in. Okay, but as long the price able to hold above the breakout area around 1 ringgit 18 cents to 1 ringgit 22 cents, we still seeing that Cocoland's points for a further buying pressure that might happen. Okay, you can see quite a number um, of consumer related products like counters like BJ Food, which rebounded strongly for the past 2 days. They are experiencing a certain degree of retracement. Okay, but given current markets, we will see that with the reopening of the borders, and also our country's conditions is entering endemic, we will see that consumer products is a good sector that we want to look into it, and the upside is pretty much reached at this moment. Okay, BJ Food, which has spiked in early February on its fantastic and unexpectedly good results. Okay, to the highest 3 ringgit 52 cents. One of the counters that we can look into it with a support at somewhere around 3 ringgit 3 to 305. Okay, yeah. So with this search, with this rebound, and today is the profit taking, we might see the pullback to 305 to 3 ringgit, and that could be an area to watch out for any reversal signal happening. Okay, all right. Other than that, we can also look into some of the, if we are talking about some leisure hospitality tourism kind of counters, we can look into OWG. Okay, which is closely related with all this F&B in Genting Highlands. Okay, we are seeing the buying pressure has been really strong at in the area of 52 cents to 55 cents. Okay, it has been stalling around here, and whenever the sentiment recovers, we see a very strong buying interest coming in. Okay, this counter is good for us to monitor. If we see the breakout above 55.5 cents, we should see it try to test for the 60 cents area resistance, and potentially can go up to the next resistance at somewhere around 80 cents area. Okay, and if we look at a bigger picture, okay, if we look into weekly, or even if we look into monthly, it is a bottoming formations that happening. Okay, after the selling since 2016, it is having a bottoming forming, and then potentially turning into an uptrend. Okay, in a longer term of in a longer outlook. Okay, yeah, right. Okay, so Inchino Iman is asking about solar sector. Okay, if we look into solar sector, recently SolarVest has making a really strong move. Okay, a really strong rebound. Okay, after the selling breaking below the 1 ringgit level support. Okay, previously we have marked this area as the key support and resistance level for SolarVest, and we can see at upon the breakout below the 1 ringgit 02 area that we marked, we can see the selling has intensified and went as low as 60 cents. Okay, uh, so with the recent rebound with the recent rebound with SolarVest bagging some of the contracts, all this thing. Okay, today along with the sentiment, it is some profit taking. Okay, however, any of the rebound right over here, I will see for SolarVest remains weak. Okay, because the selling pressure could still remain strong, and then the pool it might the rebound could remain soft, and then it might retest the 60 cents support area at this point. If we look into Samaden wise, you can see the selling also very strong on Samaden. The thing different on the Samaden part is very well supported at around 1 ringgit area, which is the key support level that we have marked. Okay, but if it doesn't able to sustain and break below 96 cents, we might see Samaden to trade lower to even below 80 cents. Okay. Per cut wise, okay, per cut wise, we can see per cut has traded below the support area at 66 cents. Okay, you can see the selling on all these solar counters, they just come in line together. All right. So what's happening right over here is the whole sector is on the selling mode and then it's still remain under pressure. It could be due to some external factors that are happening in the industry, like maybe the increase of the rising of the raw material cost and also lower margins, profit margin that are happening in the sector. Okay, this one we need to research and look into it accordingly. Okay, but we can see the whole sector is turning really weak. Although they are saying about looking into the solar sectors for to as a replacement for the oil, the high price of the high oil price at this moment. But the solar wasn't able to be the immediate solution towards it. Okay, but it might affected by the inflated price across all these materials that are happening. Especially, we are seeing the disruption in the logistic audits and also some of the um, raw materials happening on the especially on the commodity side. Okay, so that could be the reason that contributing to the selling in the solar sector at this moment. Okay, so for solar related counters, I would say that the downtrend could be quite could be continue and stay for some time. Okay, because why is so is because what the reasons, all these potential factors that causing the selling in the solar sectors, it might prolong and also only will reflected in the coming quarters in May or this, then we really see the how the earnings being impacted, and that could be another round of selling. Okay, so I would say that the solar counters, I I won't be aggressively want to buy at the buy on bargain at this point because there might be a further downside on this on all this counter in this sector. Okay, yeah, so that's why this is the reason why we want to avoid trading on downtrend stocks, because the selling could happen on the immediate news, but the prolonged selling in the count in the share price, it could happen as the earnings or this thing releasing, and then that's the further selling where more and more people cut loss. And when that happen and the selling slow down, then that will be a better area for us to do bargain hunting at that point. Okay. Um, as for WCT by Ganesh, okay. Ganesh is asking about WCT. We can see WCT also rebounded, okay, but for WCT wise, we don't see um, very strong trading interest happening, okay, especially for the past few months, okay. Uh, Although it has rebounded very strongly on quite strongly for last week from 46 to 50 cents. I would say this is more towards a technical rebound along with the markets condition improve. Okay, but construction do is likely to remain weak until we see a more stabilizing political environment in our country. Okay, although we saw BN win the majority 2/3 in the Johor State election. Okay, and that actually even drive out the speculation whereby we might have the election, the general election, 15 January election this year. Okay, so until we see that's been done, we have a very a stable political political environment in our country, and the government decides where to go, whether to be aggressive on the constructions or still focusing on the economic recovery through consumer products, tourism, all these things. Otherwise, the construction it's likely to lay low, especially with all this rising in the building material prices. Okay, because their cash flow, all this thing will remain a potential issue that happening to them. Okay, yeah. So for construction sites, we are very conservative right now, and any rebound that happening in construction should be done in a short-term trade basis. Okay, yeah, no doubt. No doubt, there might be chances for us to trade on construction stocks, but I would recommend to look into some bigger one like big boys like Gamuda, which has been going on an uptrend since early February. Okay, since early February, and currently today is on a retracement as well, along with the market sentiment. But it will be better if we focus on the market leader. Okay, like Gamuda, like that. Okay, if you want to trade on the construction. Okay, so to recap what we have been talking about this week, the healthcare might continue to trade higher, but it's more towards the technical rebound, and I would advise for those who trading short term on the healthcare stocks, you might want to take fast profits, especially if you chase higher price, and once you see uh, uh when it trade near to the resistance, it's better to take some profits, uh, and look for a lower price to price in again. Okay, because this rebound could be a short term rebound after a string of selling for past few weeks to months. Okay. Other than that, this week you have to monitor very closely on the Fed's FOMC. Okay, whereby if the interest rate is hiked to be the result is increased by 0.25 bps rather than zero point 0.5, then 0.5 basis point, then the market might choose over it, and we might see a rally in technology stock instead. Okay, so technology stock is good to look into it, and the trading interest could be focused on the technology stocks this week. All right. Other than that, oil and plantation, we have to monitor very closely on the Russia-Ukraine side. Okay, and it will be more difficult to trade on these two sectors at this point, and it's more towards going on a retracement mode. Okay, but if we want to look do on the oil and gas, like I said, mentioned earlier, it's better to focus on the upstream like hibiscus, which hitting on a potential support at this time, and plantation wise, maybe focus on the big one like some plantations is one of the good one to look at, and maybe personally I always monitoring on uh, like the housing plantations like SOP, Camlong, especially Camlong that gonna release the result this month. Okay, result is expected to should be good. Okay, so if you want to trade, maybe you focus on Camlong instead. Okay, for plantations. All right, and besides the technology, my focus will be on the consumer products as well. Like just now mentioned, the Coca-Cola, BGA Food, all these are some of the good one to look into it. Okay, and before I end, I'm just gonna talk about a little bit on the transportation as per requested by Encik Muhammad Amiruddin. Okay, transportation sites, we are seeing transportation is forming a potential topish pattern happening right over here, and more towards like a head and shoulder coming down. Okay, so the selling could be prolonged. Okay, especially we having a more bearish outlook on the FBM Okay, so for the transportation wise, it is likely to stay weak as well. It is likely to remain weak, and then more downside could be seen. Okay, for transportation. All right. Okay, so that will be all for this week. Okay, focus on the technology and consumer products. Meanwhile, healthcare will be more towards short-term trading, and also oil and gas and plantation is likely to stay weak. And plantation, if you want to trade on rebound, see money, take money, I would say, because the volatility is likely to remain there. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. So that will be all for this week. And thank you very much for joining the section. And I hope you guys had a good week. All right. Okay. Managed to do well for this week. All right. Thank you very much. Bye bye.